Hello and welcome back to Against the Storm Overexplained. In the last two videos, we completed our first two tutorial towns. Now we're almost ready to venture out on our own. We need to choose a map tile inside our embarkation range to begin. So as you can see, we can only venture out, it looks like, 2 spaces away. Now we've got this royal outpost here, which means that the pool of order choices will increase by 1. It will also give us some bonus food. So these are always things that you kind of want to look for. To embark, you must first choose a caravan that will become the foundation of your town's population. Next, choose a difficulty. The higher the risk, the greater the reward, but beware, an inexperienced viceroy won't last long on the higher difficulties. Lastly, use all of your embarkation points to take extra goods with you. You are finally ready to embark on your own. Remember, there is always a way out. Experiment and adapt. May the storm be gentle on you, Viceroy. It won't. Okay. So, first off, we get a choice of 2 caravans. We get choices of difficulty. We have 3 embark points. Each of these is worth 1, so obviously we're just going to take all 3. The biome that we're going into is called the Royal Woodlands. The Queen's forces were once part of the smoldering city, but the Blight Storm reclaimed this land. The Royal Woodlands are rich in roots, moss broccoli, grass-cap mushrooms, and flax, with a decent amount of dewberries and clay. The ground is fertile and soft, which makes it perfect for farming. We need to get 12 reputation points to win. 14 impatience points means we will lose. Medium map size, average amount of soil, and if we win, we get 17 food and 30 experience. We're going to name this settlement Tutorial 3. Very creative, I know. Modifiers. So because we are on low difficulty, we will have 2 good modifiers and 1 bad modifier. Also, we get more order choices because we are close to a royal outpost, and we get more wood from trees because the Royal Woodlands are excellent for that. Now, we can either have 9 beavers, as well as all of this stuff to start with. Starting out with pie is nice because it means an early boost to resolve. Or we can take this bottom one, where we'll have 1 human, 8 beavers, some food, some parts, and then 2 more villagers. I'm probably going to go with this one. I usually default to whichever caravan has more people, because the most valuable thing you can have at the very beginning of a new settlement is more people to work the stuff that you find. Let's go. Okay, so here are our effects. Villagers have a 35% chance of not consuming food during a break. That's kind of nice. Of course, the extra timber and the extra orders. Now, during the storm, there is always this looming darkness. Every level of hostility gives you -4 to global resolve. I can see that there is a tooltip on hostility, so we'll talk about that in a moment. Also, if the hostility reaches 1, we get muddy ground, which means their speed off-road is decreased by 30%. Hostility and Forest Mysteries. You start each settlement with the hostility of the forest at level 0. As your town grows, this hostility will slowly increase when you perform certain actions, like discovering glades, welcoming new villagers, or assigning new woodcutters. You can find the full list of hostility sources by hovering over the hostility icon. Some actions can lower the hostility of the forest, like building additional hearths or letting the Queen's impatience grow. With each hostility level, a negative resolve penalty is applied to all villagers, and new forest mysteries can become active. Forest mysteries are generated at the start of each game based on the map's difficulty and biome. Each effect is only active during its corresponding season. Positive effects occur during the drizzle, negative ones are active during the storm. Some effects are simple modifiers that influence production, reduce speed, or destroy buildings, but some are based on your villagers' needs. For example, hailstorm can kill villagers during the storm, but if they have a home, they'll be safe. So here's the hostility. Currently, the hostility is at -8 out of 100. And you can sort of see I'm getting 22 hostility for 11 villagers and -30 hostility for my hearth. Sacrificing. During especially hard times, you can sacrifice additional goods in the hearth to temporarily gain positive effects. Each fuel type grants a different bonus, like increasing your production speed, decreasing hostility, etc. To do this, select the hearth, navigate to the sacrifice panel, and then choose the resource you want to burn. The selected goods will be taken from your warehouse at the rate of 1 every few seconds. You can control how much will be consumed by using the arrow buttons. The more you sacrifice, the higher the resolve bonus becomes. Sacrificing consumes resources at a very high rate and might drain your storage very quickly. Always remember to turn it off when you no longer need it. So for example, I can sacrifice wood to reduce hostility by 50, coal to reduce hostility by 80, sea marrow, which we haven't even looked at yet, which increases the speed that you do events, and oil, which increases all of your production by 25%, stacking 3 times up to 75 if you've got the oil to spare. Okay, now we start with 3 blueprints, but I'm not actually going to choose those just yet. I generally wait until I have cut through to my first glade, so that I know what I need before I make any decisions there. We've got some stone here, so we're going to make a stone cutter camp. Let's see. We've got a few glades out here, so I'm going to go ahead and make a wood cutter camp in that area. We'll go through to those 2. We'll set up a makeshift post. We'll set up a crude workstation. And a little bit of housing. As you can see, I kind of like building my infrastructure right away before I even hit the start button. I like having a lot of buildings down. I already have a stone cutter camp. Don't need a harvester camp. As always, if you hover over a resource, it can tell you what you need in order to gather it. And because Scavenger's Camp is in blue, that tells me that I do have that blueprint already unlocked. There it is. Boom. And then there's a trading post, but I'm not going to make one of those yet. We'll do one of those in the next video. Alright, we've got our first cornerstones. Gain 1 villager every time you discover a new glade. One of my very favorites. And then +1 human resolve for every 70 incense produced. We don't have any buildings to make incense yet, so we're definitely going with Lost in the Wilds. Always a nice one to get right away. And we have our first order. A scavenger camp and a stonecutter camp. I'm pretty sure I've already built those. No, the scavenger camp isn't quite done yet, so that'll be done very quickly. Order number 2. Have 6 humans. I currently have only 2. I have lots and lots of beavers, not a whole lot of humans. Or we can trade amber, or we can make packs of building materials. No, I think I'm going to go with help from the queen, which will also give us the farm blueprint. So we're definitely going with that. We do have one that gives us rewards for making a trading post, so I guess we're going to do that. Or we can do funding the expedition, which will trade planks for all these materials. As I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and cover the trading post in the next video, so let's go with funding the expedition. It looks like I'm running out of wood quickly, so I'm going to make a second woodcutter's camp. Now you'll notice that because of the woodcutters, I have 6 of them, that gives me 48 more hostility, so I am currently at 40 out of 100 at level 0 hostility. If this number goes up above 100, then I will tick over into level 1 hostility with all the consequences that come with that. We're going to prioritize this building. There we go. Order complete. That'll give us some parts, some reeds, some clay, and as always, a reputation, which means another blueprint. Mushrooms and berries. I think that gives us a good enough place to start out. Now, the small farm I could pick up, but notice that in my order, I have it as a reward, so if I get 6 humans, I get the small farm blueprint automatically. So it's really cool that it tells me that in the blueprint screen. Now, vegetables, grain, insects, meat, and eggs. What do I have here? I have berries and mushrooms. Mushrooms come from the herbalist camp. Berries also, I believe... Yes, use the herbalist camp. So that's what we're really looking for. For now, we'll go ahead and go with the foragers camp. Let's see. We're going to take the brickyard, because you see how this makes bricks with 2 stars worth of efficiency? That's much better than the crude workstation, which makes bricks at, like, 0 efficiency. So we'll talk a little bit more about that once I get that built. But for now, brickyard it is. We don't have any source of meat yet, so the smokehouse isn't going to be super useful. The kiln can turn wood into coal, which is nice. So let's go ahead and do that. And then finally, yes, we do get access to the herbalist camp, which is exactly what we wanted. We're going to go ahead and build one of those right away out here. And we're going to make a path sort of leading out to it. Now, we need 10 planks, which means we're going to need to get some folks into the crude workstation here. And I'm going to set a limit of 10 planks. And I'm going to have them not make either of the other 2. So you do get a fair amount of control over exactly what you produce and how much. Always a good idea to move your woodcutter camps closer to the trees that they're cutting. It does make a little bit of a difference depending on how much micro you're willing to do. We've got a flax field and, yes, some meat. Not bad. Now, we did not take the trapper camp, so we don't actually have access to that meat just yet. Set down our brickyard. But the brickyard, you'll notice, takes planks to make. So as we crank out planks here, then we'll be able to make our brickyard. Now, before we get into this storm, I really want to show you the difference in efficiency. So we're going to go to the Recipes tab. And under Product, I'm going to go down to Bricks. Now, as you can see, when I click on Bricks, I have 3 possibilities when it comes to bricks. The crude workstation, which I've built, uses 6 clay to make 2 bricks, and it takes 40 seconds to do it. The brickyard only takes 30 seconds, and it takes half of the materials. So that's the big difference between an efficiency of 0 and efficiency of 1, which is 30 seconds and 4 clay per 2 bricks, and an efficiency of 2, which is both faster and more efficient. We'll set a limit of 20 because I don't want to use all of my clay. I still haven't staffed anybody at the herbalist camp, so let's go ahead and do that as well. Okay, we've got our planks done, so that'll give us access to more planks as well as fabric and bricks. New reputation means new building. The rain mill can produce flour out of wheat, but we're not making wheat. The bakery, again, not great. None of these are particularly useful to me right now, so we're going to go with the rain mill, but I don't think I'm going to make it just yet. Don't need those planks anymore, so I'm going to pull them. And we are back to the drizzle, which means I get new cornerstone and new people. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with the 2 lizards and the 1 beaver. I don't have any lizards yet, and I would love to have the global resolve bonus of putting a lizard into the main hearth. We also get a cornerstone. Protected trade. Hostility is reduced by minus 15 points every time you sell goods. Not what we're doing today, so I guess rigorous training has made your scouts exceptionally efficient. For every 5 villagers with the need for brawling fulfilled, the chance of bringing back twice as many goods from events increases by 20%. So if we can get training supplies and a tavern up and running, we might be able to make that happen. I made a mistake a moment ago. We wanted more humans. Unfortunate, but sometimes you forget things. I definitely should have chosen that one and not the one I did. Now we're beginning to make our way towards this dangerous glade, but we also have a couple more orders, so let's take a look at those. Make clothing, advanced trading, or cut through the 3 glades, and we'll get some amber, some tools, and some parts. We're going to go with that one. How about this one? If we had 35 roots and we have 61, it'll influx 5 beavers. Yeah, this one's already done, so that's nice and easy. There's the clothier. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Set it up there. We also have a lot of homeless folks now that we have so many more people. So we're going to make a little bit more infrastructure here. Go ahead and make a shelter there, and there, and there. Now, we're cutting into glades now. So I'm gonna, as quickly as possible, have my woodcutters get into these 2 glades. And then this one is actually gonna go ahead and cut into that dangerous glade. See what's in there. Now, if we're going to make clothes, we're going to need some fiber. So we're going to grab the harvester's camp. Set it right there. We'll get some pathways going. Again, the pathways are not super duper necessary. It's only a 5% buff to speed, but it can add up over time. Okay, now we're gonna put beaver there, beaver there, beaver there, and in the crude workstation. So we got plenty of workers. You can go ahead and start making all 3 of those things. And I'm going to set a limit of 10 for each. Again, because the crude workstation is so inefficient, I almost never let them just make unlimited things from there. And in fact, I'm not going to let them make bricks, because I am making bricks out here in the brickyard. And they are already at that limit of 20 bricks, so I'm actually going to remove them and have them do something else. Okay, we've got ourselves a dangerous glade, and look at all the stuff that is in here. Dangerous glades are a risk, but they are so much better than normal glades because they have so many more resources. So we get this sea marrow deposit, which is massive, which gives us an alternative fuel to just burning wood. We get tons of eggs, a couple of caches, an ancient shrine, and some more meat. So we definitely want to get that, trapper camp back. You need nothing that I have. Tools, infused tools, fabric though. If I make enough fabric, then I'll be able to finish this event. So we're going to go to the workstation. We're going to have them only make fabric out of both fiber and reeds. And we might actually make a second harvester camp to make this even faster. Let's do that. Very important that I not lose my villagers. And then we're also going to make a stonecutter camp out here by this sea marrow deposit. And because we're so far away from our main warehouse, we can actually make a separate warehouse that does cost fabric, though. It costs 2 bricks, 2 fabric, and a part, so we're not actually going to do that yet. We need all of our fabric to go into this this event here. And hey, look, we've got more flax out here, so we can actually take our harvester camp and move it out to here. Get this out of the way. And we can make a path that goes all the way out. 7.5 minutes left on that one. Now, we got 3 glades open, so Into the Wilds is done. We now have some simple tools, which is exactly what we needed. We can now switch this over to simple tools. And we can get a couple of lizards on the job. We either get some reputation and amber, or we get some coal, some scrolls, and some pottery. We're going to go with keeping the goods this time around. And now that that's done, I feel much better making a warehouse out here so we don't have to go all the way back to the main storage every time we want to drop something off. There we go. Now, this stonecutter camp does not have anything nearby either, so we're going to move it over to this other sea marrow bit here. Get a path extended out there. Scavenger camp also doesn't have anything nearby, so we can go ahead and take care of these eggs. There we go, and we have a blueprint. Man, I really wish we had gotten the trapper camp earlier, because the smokehouse would be great right now. But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and pick it up anyway, and just hope that we get the trapper camp at some point.
Yeah.
Good, we'll get that done in plenty of time. The moment this timer runs out, it will take them time to transport all the goods back, but that's not the important part. Once this is done, then I will no longer risk having people die. I would really like this warehouse to go up as fast as possible. Okay, so couple of things. Thing number one, you'll notice that our hostility is at level 1, which means we do have this muddy ground debuff active. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and sacrifice some wood, and not only does that get my hostility back down below 1, but it also means my lizards are no longer at low resolve. I just have to remember to undo that at the end of my storm phase here. Now, remembering when I get my next newcomers that I need to prioritize humans. Receive 3 packs of provisions for every new villager. Hell yes. And then I need to prioritize... Both of them have only 1 human, but I do need more fabric to make clothing. So we're going to take this one. We're up to 4 humans. We're going to stop sacrificing wood at our hearth. We are in need of some more housing, so let's go ahead and build that. And in fact, let's read about hubs. When expanding your settlement, it's very useful to set up hubs in faraway glades so that your villagers don't have to walk all the way back to the town center just to deposit collected goods or take a break. To create a hub, you'll need to build a warehouse and a makeshift hearth, and assign a new firekeeper. You can have multiple hubs at once if, of course, you can afford to build them and have enough fuel to sustain multiple hearths. It's also important to remember that each hearth has its own range and can't be placed too close to other hearths so their area of effects can't overlap. Hubs can be upgraded by building homes, decorations, and service buildings within range of the hearth. Each hub level will grant you bonuses to resolve, production speed, and production output. These bonuses stack with each hub in your settlement. So we're going to go ahead, grab a small hearth, and see how much space it takes up, and see how it can't overlap. So, like, I could put one way out here, but I could not put one right here. There's an overlap. So I think our next step is to clear out this area here so that we can make that hub and be a little bit more efficient. Now, quick notice. On the main hearth, see how you need to have a certain population, you need to have a certain number of houses within range. I have plenty. And also, decorations. So if I were to build some decorations, like, I don't know, some benches. There we go. And let's go ahead and prioritize those just so that you can see what's going on. I'm holding shift so that all of them have the same priority. And as soon as 4 of those benches are done, you'll notice, bam, that the hearth levels up. Now, it is an encampment. We get a +2 to global resolve, and the resistance to corruption is increased by 150. We haven't learned about corruption yet. That's in a future video. So now I'm going to take a look at resolve and see what's working and what's not working. So we're definitely getting lots of resolve from clothing. That's good. We're losing resolve because we still have homeless folks despite our new buildings, because they haven't been built yet. But we are going to drop another shelter here as well, just to make sure everyone is accounted for. And in fact, let's go ahead and prioritize those. Harvester camp has nothing nearby. We can move it up here. No, there's already another one there. Doesn't look like there are any more deposits for my harvester camp, so instead, I'm just going to remove the workers and have them do something else. There we go. How am I doing on bricks? I still have plenty of bricks, so no point in putting anyone there. Let's see. And I'm probably going to make another hub way out here. So I'm just going to move this woodcutter camp a little bit closer and start clearing out this area. Also, I should probably put a warehouse out there. Again, the less your people have to walk, the better. New orders. We could make 8, 6, and 6. We've already got that done, so there's really no point in not doing that. Boom. Easy peasy. Next. Have at least 10 villagers with the clothing need fulfilled for 120 seconds. That's probably going to be the way to go because we are making a lot of clothes. Have at least 10 aesthetics decorations. Have at least 8 humans with 26 resolve. We have 4 humans and 24 resolve, so that's probably not the way to go just now. Let's go new clothes. Have 10 harmony decorations, rain collector, spark dew, packet trade goods. I think, assuming that I have the blueprints for harmony decorations, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice that these harmony decorations, though, take a lot of tier 2 materials. They take 1 each of planks and cloth and bricks. So be careful about that. In fact, we should probably start putting some more planks out there. In 2 minutes, my new clothes order will be done because I've got plenty of clothing. In fact, I find that going for clothing is one of the easiest ways to get one of those high-level needs met very quickly, because all you need is a way to turn fiber into cloth, and then a clothier or something else that can turn it into clothing. I should probably actually pick that order, huh? Awesome. Now we've got these abandoned caches, which take either tools or infused tools to crack open, and they give you either reputation and amber or a bunch of other stuff, but I don't have the tools for it right now. Alright, new clothes is done. So we're going to gain a sewing technique, which will give us bonus coats, tanning racks, so bonus to leather production, as well as a big bundle of fabric. Done and done. Now, a carpenter can make simple tools, so we're going to go ahead and pick that up and make it right away. Still wishing I had a trapper camp, but sometimes you make a choice at the beginning and it has big consequences all the way through your run. Ran out of stuff for this harvester camp, so I'm going to fire the 2 people there. I'm not going to break down the camp or anything unless I really need to. And there's our royal gardens done, and we have a new glade with more meat, more eggs, which means the harvester? No, eggs is a scavenger camp, right? Yeah, eggs is scavenger camp. Okay. So we're going to get some wildfire essence, which I believe you use to make new hearths. We're going to get some biscuits, which is really nice, and bonus to production of packs of goods. And I think we're able to cruise pretty well for the moment. I think we're pretty good here. Stonecutter Camp doesn't have any deposits, so we will move it. Yeah, we'll move it down here to make absolutely sure that we've got plenty of marrow to keep our fires going. Let's see. I'm thinking probably... We don't really have any way to make flour, so biscuits and pies aren't really a thing. I guess it's going to be brewery. Now, one of the reasons why I'm running out of stuff is because I'm not exploring as much as I should, probably. So let's move this woodcutter camp up here. Make sure we cut into these 2 glades as fast as possible. Now, simple tools requires either crystallized dew or copper bars, neither of which I have. So unfortunately, this carpenter is not going to be super useful to me right now, but it's good to know that I could make it. Okay. Newcomers, looking for humans. There's 3 here. That's perfect. That gets me up to enough humans for help from the queen. Wood production is increased, but harvesting and planting are slower. That's actually better because I don't have any farms out there right now. And there is our order done. Now, we've got a lot of builders, so we should probably be putting people into places. But unfortunately, we don't have a lot of places to work with. Again, what we really need is a trapper camp. That said, we can harvest these eggs and this fertile soil here. So we're going to go ahead and start clearing this area out. There we go. And we're also going to make a scavenger camp for those eggs. So the farm will get us some wheat, which we could then turn into beer, which we can then turn into resolve. That's the general gist of this game, is you set up these sort of lines of production, which ultimately lead to boosting your resolve. We'll make what farm fields we can, although we're going to have to wait until this gets cleared out a bit more. And of course, with a higher population means more food consumption, so I do have to be a little bit careful here. I'm not too worried, but I do have to be a little bit careful. More eggs, more flax, more meat. Alright, so we'll start gathering that flax. We also have more fertile soil over here, so we can go ahead and grab a second farm. So we should be able to start cranking our food production up pretty quick. Now, do we yet have the space? We do. Okay, so we're going to move this woodcutter camp out of the way. And we're going to make our small hearth. Ah, woodcutter camp's still in the way. And we're going to make our small hearth right there. That's going to take a wildfire essence, some bricks, and some planks. So I definitely need to start making some bricks again. There we go. Gonna get a couple of people into this farm. See if I can find any humans that are wandering around. Excellent. And once this hearth is built, I will be able to start making more housing around it. And that'll help me out a lot. New orders. 22 Beaver Resolve. Beaver Resolve is currently 19. We can make that happen nice and easy. What else is a possibility? Open caches or do 2 glades and 2 tablets? No, we're going to go with Beaver Resolve. That'll be easy. Have 16 beavers or make a bunch of packs of crops. We already have 22 beavers, so that is already done. Boom. And to increase their resolve, we're just going to go ahead and click that lighter treatment button. And that means we should be able to get both of those orders done very quickly. Okay, that's 2 more orders done. 1 and 2. Now notice that that only gave us 1 new building. Not every single level of reputation will get you a new blueprint. So just bear that in mind. We're going to pick up the tavern because even if I don't make beer, which I will be soon, I still get that bonus. I still get the bonus resolve for having 3 people staffed there. So we're going to make the tavern right there in the center of town. We're going to undo the light treatment. We're going to set priority for the tavern. I think we are coming up on the end game, friends. We're almost there. We need a hearthkeeper there, and we're going to go ahead and start building some shelters next to our new hearth. There, that should be plenty of housing for everybody. As we make our way into the storm. I now have some grain, so I am going to start staffing some folks here. Specifically, humans would be nice if I have any that aren't already... Yeah, like these harvesting humans, I will go ahead and put into the brewery, where they're going to be nice and happy. Move that a little bit closer to the trees. And I do believe we now have 2 fully functional farms. Scavenger camp doesn't have anything nearby. So we're going to move it to take advantage of these eggs. And we're back to the drizzle. Let's go ahead and grab our newcomers. And our cornerstone. Bonus roots or woodcutter camp production is faster. We're going to go bonus roots. Not that it really matters. We're basically done here. Harvester camp is out of stuff. We're just going to go ahead and pull them. Our tavern is complete, so we're immediately going to drop 3 people in there to get that bonus to global resolve. And now that we are harvesting some wheat, we should be able to make beer. In fact, going forward, I'm going to ask this farm specifically to only make grain so that we've got plenty to make beer with. My humans are doing very well. In fact, I'm going to give my beavers lighter treatment as well, so I have 2 of them building up my reputation. 1.19 per minute. I think this is the end, friends. We'll grab the lizard house since they're the ones that are the least happy right now. We'll make a couple of those, but I don't think we're going to have time to actually make them. 0.59 resolve per minute. As you can see, you can do a little bit of manipulation with resolve just to get over that last little bit of reputation that you need for the end of the run. We are low on food, but again, I don't think it matters. We are getting both clothing. We have not gotten a lot of leisure yet, which is fine. We would if it wasn't for the fact that we're about to beat this run. Right at the very end, And we get just a massive number of deeds. We get 17 food stockpiles, a bunch of deeds. So we're going to go back to the world map and see what we get. We already read this, I think. Modifiers and treasure. The world map is filled with things waiting to be discovered. Every point of interest on the map is marked with a question mark and may turn out to be either a modifier or a treasure chest. Both are very rewarding. Modifiers are special types of objects that change the rules of the game, for example, by allowing you to move every building in your settlement or by blocking your ability to trade. To take on a modifier, simply settle a map tile adjacent to it. After winning the game near it, the modifier will disappear and you will be rewarded with additional Citadel resources. Treasure chests, on the other hand, don't require you to settle near them to claim their contents. Once you discover a chest, simply select it on the world map to open it. A chest must be within your embarkation range to be collected. So we're going to jump into the Smoldering City really quick. Deeds. So we got First Real Expedition. That's 50 XP. We got Orders from the Queen 1. That's another 50 XP, and that gets us to level 3. Which gives us Temple, which gives a religion and education. The Scribe, a mine, so that we can start getting copper and coal. Old Farlouf is a trader. Rich Glades is a cornerstone that we can get in-game. Newly discovered resource nodes have 10 more charges. And I really love this one. 3 barrels for every 10 planks produced. So it means that you can make your building materials and make barrels for making booze at the same time. Very useful. The Patient Queen 1. Another 50 XP. The Patient Queen 2. We get Fiery Wrath. Resources you sacrifice in the Ancient Hearth burn 5% longer for every impatience point you have. We won the game with 40 villagers, so we got a lamp. We won without any villagers dying, so that's another 50 XP. Royal Outpost. No loot boxes. Win without opening any caches. I couldn't, but hey, I'll take it. That gets us up to level 4. We get the Guild House, the Clan Hall, the Cellar, a Metal Delivery Line Cornerstone, the Rebellious Spirit Cornerstone. Bonus resolve for impatience is very useful in the more difficult settings. And minus 40 to hostility for every hub at neighborhood or higher. 2 more. No Strangers, another 50 XP. And Homesick, win a game in 5 years or less for a signboard. Excellent. So now we go to upgrades. We have 19 bread, 19 food stockpiles. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and continue up this middle path for now. So we're going to get another minus 2% to the speed at which the Queen's Impatience grows, and it will allow me to decide what food my villagers are allowed to eat, and that will come into play in the next video. But for now, that will do it for today's Against the Storm Overexplained. Thank you very much for watching. Please do click that subscribe button. It really does help with the stats and everything like that. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.